Alright, we'll just get it rolling, guys. Give it a go, Mel. You want to lead us off, Mel? Welcome back, mate. Good to see you. Where's the other mic? Oh, okay, we'll pass it. Mel, far away.
Well, Steve, what do you make of that? It was a pretty up and down sort of a day, and you've edged in front in the end.
Yeah, I guess it's nice to be just in front. Yeah, overall, I think we can be a little bit disappointed. You know, I think we probably had the better of the conditions to bat in. I think for this game, we won the toss. We had an opportunity to bowl. There was a bit in it yesterday. Bowled them out, and overnight at 1 for 60, going along nicely, and the wicket playing the way it did today. There wasn't a great deal of sideways off the wicket. That swung around most of the day, to be fair, and they were obviously very good swing bowlers. But yeah, I think a lot of us got starts. The scorecards are actually very similar, I suppose, in a way. But yeah, a lot of us got starts and weren't able to capitalise and go on and put one of those partnerships that were 40 or 50 into 100, 150, and that gives us a decent lead, I suppose. So a bit disappointed from that aspect.
Steve, just a word on the series Alex Carey has had with the bat today as well. He, got out playing maybe a rash shot and looked quite dispirited as he walked off. Just a bit on how you think he's doing and how he's fared so far.
Yeah, no, I think he's going all right. I think he's actually been batting nicely. Probably just hasn't gone on to make the score that he would have liked. But he's actually been playing quite well. So he's an upbeat character. I think he's kept exceptionally well throughout the series, and he's a key player for us.
Oh, Steve, I was just wondering what was going through your mind with that not run out as you were watching it, because you looked like you were basically about to walk off, I thought. Yeah,
I saw the initial replay and I saw the bail come up, and then when I looked at it the second time, it looked like Johnny might have knocked the bail before the ball had come, and then the ball came and he took the stumps, and it looked pretty close from at that stage. If the ball had hit at that first, the initial stage where the bail came up, then I think I was well out of my ground. But on the next angle, it looked pretty close. And the umpire gave me not out.
And can I just ask about the approach in the first session this morning? Was there a fair bit about trying to wear out the quicks, or was it difficult to score? What was the actual sort of tactic there in that first session? Yeah, no, there was no real game plan as far as I know. I think it was just about going and playing the game that our batters play, and I think to their credit, they bowled pretty well this morning. The clouds were in. There was a bit of swing around. Probably they might have bowled a little bit short and not given us too many scoring options, if that makes sense. They didn't give us many drives or anything. So the guys were able to leave a lot of balls, and obviously you want the scoreboard to be ticking over quicker than that, but guys are allowed to bowl well. It's Test cricket, and you're allowed to block a few and leave a few, and sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Absorb some pressure that's applied to you. And once they got through that period, obviously it would have been good if they were able to go on and kick on. But that was the way the day sort of went for us. We sort of kept losing wickets and weren't able to get one of those big partnerships.
Hey Steve, just wanted to talk to you about that. I saw that last over you faced from Chris Wokes at the end of your innings. You and Pat had gotten a pretty good partnership going there. Was it like, were you wanting to just up the tempo, or was it because I think Harry Brook came in from the boundary the last ball? Like what was going through your head there?
Yeah, it was kind of just a bit of a counter punch and try and put some on them quickly. Just sort of felt the right time. I hit that one over mid-off, and Paddy was like, I like it, keep going, whatever. And then they brought the field up, and I thought it was a free hit. And to be fair, felt like it was in the slot. I just didn't execute it overly well, which was disappointing. But did I pull the trigger too early? Maybe. But then had I not got out, Murph mightn't have come in and smacked 30 like he did. So who knows? But, we're in the position we're in probably because of, I suppose, our batters more than anyone. You can't fault what the bottom few did. I thought the partnerships they put together were outstanding. So, it's pretty much a one-innings game now.
I was going to say just about your batting overall on this tour, both the World Test Championship and the Ashes. Like, you've hit the ball pretty well all the way through. Like, does it feel like you've made all the runs that you wanted to? I suppose you always would like to make more.
Yeah, I mean, today I felt pretty good. To be fair, I think today's probably the best I batted here, maybe outside of the championship game at this same ground. I love batting at the Oval. It's a beautiful place to bat if you get in. So, yeah, I don't know. I would have liked a few more partners maybe to stick around and able to sort of just play normally for a while, I suppose. But, I would have liked more runs, of course. But, yeah, I don't know, 200s in, 6 games for the winter here. I think it's reasonable. I'd like more, but I think it's reasonable.
Might just stick to one each so we can get around to everyone.
Steve, did you know whose arm you were running on, if that makes sense? So, the sub-fielder darted in, it was a pretty good throw. It was kind of maybe reminiscent of Ricky Ponting, Gary Pratt in a way. Did you know what you were in for?
No, and he's quick. I know now that he's very quick. I think the next one we hit out there and it was a similar sort of push for 2 and I was like, geez, this guy's tearing around the boundary here, he's going at pace. So had I known that previously, I might have just stayed there for the single.
Steve, England scored 131 in the first session yesterday. Australia scored 54 in the first session today. When you bat second time around, if you have to grind out the runs to nail down the Ashes, a series win, I mean, is that what it takes?
Honestly, I'm not thinking about that right now. We'll cross that bridge if and when it comes. I think the one positive, I suppose, out of the game so far, with it being essentially a one-innings game now, is that we've put more overs into their bowlers than the 50 that ours bowled. Is a positive for us, I think. But, we can't read too much into it. We just got to go out now and play the game and, hopefully make some early inroads in the morning and see how we go.
A few left here, Scott. Louis.
Steve, I know you've been asked this a few times in this tour, or about this a few times in this tour, but the day before the Test, Michael Vaughan session of podcast that you were going...
Not retiring.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Were you surprised? Yeah, so were you surprised by that, and do you have any idea where that's come from?
No idea. Because I haven't said it to anyone, so no idea. Not going anywhere yet.
And you're no clearer on those thoughts?
No.
Well batted, Steve.
Thank you.
Can you be tempted to speculate on what target might give Australia a 50-50 chance?
It's honestly hard to say. It's probably too early in the game. It really depends on how the wicket breaks up, I suppose. I heard Stuart in here before saying day 3 is normally pretty good for batting and then it can break up a little bit. So, we look at the championship game we played here against India. It was a weird one. It kind of looked like at one stage it was going up and some balls were taking off and then it sort of slowed down and flattened out. So, who knows? I think the Oval is a place where you can still score pretty freely. And obviously they don't have a spinner, a frontline spinner with Mo struggling. I'd assume he's not going to bowl second innings. But without a spinner can hurt at stages. So who knows? We'll wait and see.
Steve, Stuart Broad just said that the umpire had told him that if Zing Bales had been in place or on the stumps, that you probably would have been given out. Do you have a view on whether Zing Bales should be used? Are you a fan of them?
It doesn't bother me. I don't really, I don't mind. They're just Bales for me. Not fussed either way.
Just the other thing he said, he kind of said that he didn't really know what the rules were around, when a Bales dislodged and that kind of thing. Do you know what the rules are?
I mean, don't the Bales have to come up off the stumps? Isn't out of the grooves or something? Is that, as far as I know? But he's got to go off the umpire and what he says. And fortunately for me, I suppose he said not out.
Great, thanks, guys.